In this video, we are going to discuss important MCQs from the topic Strength of Materials. If you are new on our channel, then please subscribe our channel and install our application Ranking Pedia Education. When you will visit YT class notes section, you can access free classes and you can also give free mock test. If you are preparing for APPSC Junior Engineer Civil Exam, you can enroll in our course. In our course, you will get ebook that will cover entire civil engineering portion, question bank that will cover civil engineering portion, and mock test series that will consist of 10 mock tests. Course fee is just 999 rupees. First question is, if a shaft of diameter D and length L has been loaded axially, then ratio of change in diameter to the original diameter is called. Your option is longitudinal strain, shear strain, volumetric strain, or lateral strain. So the ratio of change of lateral dimension, that is delta D, to the original lateral dimension, that is D, in the lateral direction of applied load is termed as your lateral strain. So which one is correct? That is your option number D is correct, that is lateral strain. Lateral strain is equals to delta D by D. That is your lateral dimension by original lateral dimension. Your option number D is correct, lateral strain. Next question, a member which is subjected to reversible tensile or compressive stresses may fail at stresses lower than the ultimate stresses of the material. This property of metal is called. Your option is plasticity of the metal, workability of the metal, fatigue of the metal, or creep of the metal. So which one is the correct? So you have to answer, that is your fatigue of the metal. Option number C is correct. Okay. Next question is, during tensile testing of a specimen using a UTM, the parameters actually measured include. Your options are true stress, true strain, Poisson's ratio and Young's modulus, engineering stress and engineering strain, and D option is your load and elongation. So which one is the correct? That is your load and elongation. So during tensile testing of a specimen using a UTM, the parameters actually measured include your load and elongation. Option number D is correct. Next question is, which of the following expression gives the correct relationship between Young's modulus, that is your E, bulk modulus, that is your K, and a Poisson's ratio, that is U. So which is the following equation? That is your E is equals to 3K in a bracket 1 minus 2 mu. This equation gives the correct relationship between your Young's modulus, bulk modulus, and Poisson's ratio. Okay, so which is the correct option? That is option number A, E is equals to 3K in a bracket 1 minus 2 mu. Next question is, modulus of rigidity is the ratio of. Your options are linear stress to linear strain. Option B is linear stress to lateral stress. Option C is volumetric strain to linear strain, or option D, that is shear stress to shear strain. So modulus of rigidity is also known as your shear modulus, and it is defined as a material property with the equal value to the shear stress divided by the shear strain. So that means modulus of rigidity is the ratio of shear stress to shear strain. Option number D is correct. Next question is, the effect of external force or the nature of internal force developed in a body may be. Your options are tension, compression, shear, or all of these. So the effect of external forces or the nature of internal forces developed in a body, that may be tension, compression, and shear. So option number D is correct, that is all of these. Next question is, under compression loading, what would be area under the stress strain curve represent? Your options are energy required to cause failure, elasticity of the material, breaking stress of the material, and option D is your fatigue. So which one is correct? You have to answer this. That is your energy required to cause failure. Option number A is correct. Next question is, a plastic member, your options are mentioned, does not regain its original shape after removal of load producing deformation. Or option B, regains its original shape after removal of load producing deformation. And option C is regains its original shape after removal of load producing deformation when heat is applied to it. And option D is none of the above. So which one is correct? So a plastic member does not regain its original shape after removal of load producing deformation. Option number A is correct. Next question is, the unit of modulus of elasticity is same as those of, your options are mentioned over here. So the unit of modulus of elasticity is same as those of stress, pressure and modulus of rigidity. So which one is correct? That is option number C is correct. Next question. According to Robert Hooke, stress is directly proportional to strain within, your options are proportional limit, elastic limit, yield point or ultimate stress. So according to Robert Hooke, stress is directly proportional to strain within proportional limit. So which one is correct? That is your option number A is correct. Hooke's law is about stress is directly proportional to strain. Elastic limit, within elastic limit, if a member is stressed, then on removal of applied stress, it regains its original shape. These 2 points you have to keep in mind. And proportional limit is about a limit within which stress is directly proportional to strain, and Hooke's law is valid within these limit. Okay. So which one of the option is correct? That is option number A, proportional limit. Next question is, the strength at which steel fails under repeated load application is known as, your options are impact strength, tensile strength, yield strength or fatigue strength. So due to cyclic or reverse cyclic loading, if total accumulated strain energy exceeds the toughness, then your fracture failure occur and strength corresponding to the fatigue is known as your fatigue strength. So the strength at which steel fails under repeated load application is known as fatigue strength. That is option number D is correct. Next question is, the maximum stress that can be applied to a material for an infinite number of cycles of repeated stress without causing failure is called, your options is elastic limit, proportional limit, ultimate strength or endurance limit. So the maximum stress that can be applied to a material for an infinite number of cycles of repeated stress without causing failure is called your endurance limit. That is option number D is correct. Endurance limit is the stress level below which even large number of stress cycles cannot produce fatigue failure. So endurance limit option number D is correct. Next question is, when a prismatic steel bar is subjected to axially applied tensile force, the total tension in the bar is called, your options are axial resultant, reactive force, stress resultant or normal stress. So when a prismatic bar is subjected to axially applied tensile force, the total tension in the bar is called your axial resultant. Option number A is correct. Next question is, the number of elastic constants for completely anisotropic elastic material which follows Hooke's law is called, is your, so you have to determine the number of elastic constants. Okay, so the number of elastic constants for a completely anisotropic elastic material which follows Hooke's law is your 21. So number of material is your 21. That is your option number C is correct. For isotropic it is 2, for orthotropic it is 9 and for anisotropic it is 21. Option number C is correct. Next question is, a bar of brass is enclosed in a steel tube and is rigidly fastened at both the ends. If the coefficient of thermal expansion of brass is more than that of steel, when temperature rises, the nature of stresses developed are. So your options are mentioned over here. So you have to take one option which is correct. So that is your tensile in steel tube and compressive in brass bar. Option number A is correct. Next question is, ductility depends on, your options are temperature of the structure, size of the structure or applied loading time. So you have to determine on which factor ductility actually depends. So what is ductility? Ductility is a property of material due to which it can be drawn into wires, and ductility depends upon your temperature, size of the structure. It does not depend upon loading time. So which of the following option is correct? That is, ductility depends upon temperature of the structure and size of the structure. So option number B is correct. Next question is, the principle of superposition is not applicable when your options are the material does not obey Hooke's law, the effect of temperature changes is taken into consideration, the structure is being analyzed for the effect of support settlement. So which of the following is correct? So the principle of superposition is not applicable when the material does not obey Hooke's law. So which of the following is correct? That is option number A, first only is correct. Next question is, the stress at which a material fractures under large number of reversal of stresses is called. Your options are residual stress, creep, endurance limit, or ultimate limit. So the stress at which a material fractures under large number of reversal of stresses is called your endurance limit. Option number C is correct. Okay. Next question is, in milled steel specimens subjected to tensile test cycle, the elastic limit in tension is raised and the elastic limit in compression is lowered. So what is called, which effect is called? So that is your Bochinger effect. Option number B is correct. Next question is, ability of material to absorb energy within the elastic range is called. So ability of material to absorb energy within the elastic range is your resilience. What is called? That is your resilience. Option number D is correct. Next question is, the property of a material by which it can be beaten or rolled into thin plates is called malleability or ductility or plasticity or elasticity. So the property of material by which it can be beaten or rolled into thin plate is called your malleability. That is option number A is correct. Next question is, a bar of copper and a bar of steel form a composite system which is heated to a temperature of 40 degrees centigrade, 40 degrees Celsius. The stress in a steel bar is, so you have to take the correct option. Your options are tensile, compressive, zero, or shear. So bar of copper and bar of steel form a composite system which is heated to a temperature of 40 degrees centigrade. The stress in steel bar is your tensile. Option number A is correct. Next question is, the change in the volume per unit volume occurs when normal stresses are applied on an element of isotropic material is called. So that is your dilatation of material. Option number C is correct. Next question is, the phenomenon of decreased resistance of a material to reversal of stress is called fatigue. Option number B is correct. Okay, so the phenomenon of decreased resistance of a material to reversal of a stress is your fatigue. Option number B is correct. Next question is, creep of a material is, your options are continued deformation with time under sustained loading. Option B is disappearance of deformation on removal of load. Option C is not being ductile, and option D is your to become brittle. So creep of a material is continued deformation with time under sustained loading. So which one is correct? That is your option number A is correct. Next question is, the principle of superposition is valid only for, your options are any elastic material, for all material, or for linear elastic material, or for homogeneous materials. So the principle of superposition is valid only for your linear elastic materials. So what is this principle called? So the principle of superposition says that when a number of load are acting on a body, the resulting strain according to the principle of superposition will be the algebraic sum of strain caused by individual loads. So the principle of superposition is valid only for your linear elastic materials. Option number C is correct. Next question is isotropic hardening is associated with, your options are dilatation of yield surfaces, translation of yield surface, materials under cyclic loading, or Bosch-Singer effect. So isotropic hardening, what is it? It is where the yield surface remains the same shape but expands with increasing stress. Okay, so the yield surface remains the same shape but increasing stress expands. Okay, so the isotropic hardening is associated with your dilatation of yield surface. Option number A is correct. Next question is, what is tenacity? Your options are ultimate strength in tension, ultimate strength in compression, ultimate shear stress, or ultimate impact stress. So the maximum stress that a material can withstand while being stretched or pulled is known as your ultimate tensile strength, that is also called your tenacity. So tenacity is what? Ultimate tensile strength. So option number A is correct, that is ultimate strength in tension. Next question is, for an isotropic, homogeneous and elastic material obeying Hooke's law, number of independent elastic constants is, your options are 3, 2, 9 or 1. So which one is the correct? You have to tell. So that is your number 2. Number of independent elastic constants is your 2. Option number B is correct. Next question is, in case of torsional problem, the assumption is given over here. Plane section perpendicular to longitudinal axis before deformation remain plane and perpendicular to the longitudinal axis after deformation. Holds true for a shaft having. So you have to tell in which condition. Option A is circular cross section, elliptical cross section, circular and elliptical both cross section, or any cross section. So in case of torsional problem, the assumption is given, that is a plane section perpendicular to longitudinal axis before the deformation remain plane and perpendicular to the longitudinal axis after deformation holds true for a shaft having your circular cross section. Which is correct? Option number A is correct. So these are the important MCQs from the topic strength of materials. Subscribe our channel and install our application Ranking Pedia Education, where you can access free class PDF in the YT class notes section. Thanks for watching.